Alright, so for today we're gonna be doing a Harry Potter tier list video where I'm going to be ranking all the Harry Potter books from S, A, B, C, D, and F tier. How amazing is that? Magical. So to give a brief kind of context on what the tiers mean, S tier means entirely spectacular, one of a kind, amazing book. A tier is a great all-around book that doesn't really fall short in anything but doesn't have the same X factor oomph that S tier books have. B tier books are generally good books that are well loved and well received, for me at least. And C tier books are adequate middle-so books that pass, hence the C grade. D tier are kind of leveling on the bad side of the books, where the flaws outweigh the benefits or the pros for the book. And F tier is just trash. So let's start with the start. Of course, we're starting with the start, and the start is Sorcerer's Stone. So Sorcerer's Stone is a pretty good first installment for any fantasy series. It's the shortest book out there, but it introduces Harry, Ron, Hermione, the crew, Hogwarts, magic, fluidly and so natural that you instantly get hooked by the world, by the ambience, by the setting. Because it does that in a very sort of, what I said already, natural way, I think it's pretty darn good to put it in B tier, at least, you know. Sorcerer's Stone does everything well. It doesn't really do anything awe-inspiring to put it on A or S tier. So I'm gonna put it in B for now, at least, you know. Next is the sequel, of course, Chamber of Secrets, which is also one of the short books out there for Harry Potter. Although for me, it doesn't deliver quite as much of by fulfilling the promise the first book had to offer. You know, Sorcerer's Stone introduced us this magical world, so we expected more magic or a deeper sense of magic to come in Chamber of Secrets, although it improves with the lore and the history of Hogwarts, and it literally deepens your understanding of Hogwarts a bit. It doesn't really exceed so much for me in that regard. I admit I was kind of bored reading some parts of Chamber of Secrets. It was one of my least favorite Harry Potter. It is one of my least favorite Harry Potter books. But it's not that bad as a book. So because of that and everything I said, I'm going to put it on C tier, right below Sorcerer's Stone. And then next is easy. Azkaban goes straight to S for me. Technically, it is one of the better written books out there. It's one of the best written books out there for me. And J.K., I believe, wrote her best fiction on the latter half of this book in particular. She really upped the ante from Quidditch Final to the ending after the Time Turner and everything. And it was really so fluid, so dynamic, and it engaged me. I think I read that in one sitting, that book. Amazing. It introduces also lovable characters, fan favorites like Lupin and Sirius the Marauders, and the twist at the end is amazing. The crown book of the Harry Potter series, Azkaban. Next, of course, is the fourth book and the first of the thick books that Harry Potter has, and it is Goblet of Fire, which exponentially improves and deepens and emphasizes on the magical community that the world of Hogwarts had the potential to have. So they introduced international magical events and other schools coming to Hogwarts and the Triwizard Tournament and everything. So the scale is off the charts now as compared to the first three books. And because of the expansion of the world and doing so in a great way by introducing these characters from different parts, different schools and everything, I'm going to have to put it in A tier because the climax of this book is probably my favorite climax of all the Harry Potter books, where Voldemort gets revived and then Harry battles him, and then their wands connect and everything. Cedric dies and his parents come after. So it's truly an epic battle. Not really a battle, but an epic scene to behold. That scene itself was a joy to read for me. And it left me wanting more. And then the more came in the form of Order of the Phoenix, which is one of my least favorite Harry Potter books, along with Chamber of Secrets. Not only because it's boring, which at parts it very well is, it is also the thickiest of the thickety-thick books out there. It falls short on what Goblet of Fire really excelled in, and that's the usage of the world to improve the quality of the story. So, in Order of the Phoenix, it kind of lacks in life a bit. Past few installments of the series, you can feel that every page is essential to the story, but in Order of the Phoenix, it's all over the place. So many things, so many arcs happening all at once, Dumbledore's army and all the classes and Umbridge and so on and so forth, and Voldemort's dreams and Harry's dreams of Voldemort and everything else. It's kind of scattered and all over the place, like the plot is, and like how the book is written also, which I believe it is one of the weaker installments in the series. I'm gonna have to put it in D tier just because of that. Yeah. And the next is Half-Blood Prince isn't a Harry-centric book. It centers around Voldemort and his origins. So Harry takes these pensive dives and then gets into the origins of Voldemort, which is pretty interesting, to say the least, from the writing standpoint, because it's pretty hard. I mean, the plot goes normal, then pensive, then normal, then pensive, then normal, then pensive, which is, kind of ruckus in a pacing standpoint. But J.K. does it well to keep the reader engaged, but also to inform the reader of Voldemort's origins without cutting the plot too drastically or too erratically. So because it is well written and because of the ending where Dumbledore dies and then Draco and then all of Harry's suspicions come to fruition for the first time in the whole series, I have to put it on A tier. Half-Blood Prince is a good, amazing sixth installment of the series. And then the finale of Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, is, with full biases, my favorite book in the series. Of course, it's the most epic book. It's the culmination of all the arcs, all the storylines, all the characters. Where Harry cracks open his shell of being a child and becomes the hero, the chosen one that he was always meant to be. And that last battle at Hogwarts, where all the professors show up and they fight against the forces of evil, Death Eaters, and so on and so forth. Although I'll have to admit, Harry's medyo anticlimactic duel with Voldemort, in the books at least, but it was too epic and too emotional of a ride for me not to love it. Favorite moment here is when Harry kisses the snitch, tells himself that he is ready to die. That he's about to die, but he's ready to die is my favorite moment in the series. And I'm gonna have to put it on A tier. A tier, ahead of Goblet. Behind only Azkaban, but if I'm being honest with myself, I'm gonna have to put it here, but I digress. And then finally, it's Cursed Child, which is F. Don't read it. So bad. It's one of the worst. It is the worst Harry Potter book. It is also one of the worst books I've ever read. It is barely a book. Do not read it. So there you have it. The tier list for the Harry Potter books. Do you agree? Do you not? Do you kind of agree? Do you meddle in the middle? I don't know.